everybody, it's Jeanette Wilde, and I'm talking today, so in case I start coughing, I have my water next to me, so I apologize beforehand if I have to. Anyway, this is a little design team project using the Gorgeous Roses and Wine Roses kit by SS Digital Studio. Beautiful kit, very versatile, and I've decided to take it in a specific direction, which is to host a wine tasting party. We're planning on using this to also have a housewarming, since we just recently moved into a new house and we haven't yet had a housewarming party. Probably because right now things aren't the best for having to get together, so hopefully this will be able to be used soon. And anyways, everything that you need for a wine tasting is here. And let me just push this to the side and then I'll take you through everything. Okay, first off, of course, you need to invite people to your wine tasting. So in the kit are these two gorgeous envelopes. There's also, in the kit, there's one page that is just this red. And that's, the whole page is just this red. I've used that quite a bit to back all of my papers. So gorgeous, gorgeous. And so in the kit, there's also these sets of cards that fit perfectly into the envelopes. You can also use them for journal cards within your journal. They're perfectly sized for these envelopes. What I've done is took a piece of craft paper and a couple of stamps from my stash. So these are Inkadinkado in case you want to go look for them. And then this is from the ephemera page. So there's several pages of really great ephemera. And one of them has a whole bunch of really nice little fussy cut images that you can use. I printed that page and so that it gave me the little images in just a whole bunch of different sizes, so I could use them in a number of different ways. So this is the smallest that I printed them. And so this just makes a cute little invitation. And that fits into the card. And so each of these are exactly the same. I just used a different little ephemera piece to give it a little accent on the invitation. Now just note that obviously you can put a nice little label here with your stamp and mail this. Just double check your rules for your postal system here in Germany. I might have to put a little extra postage for a odd size. The other way to get around it is just put it into another envelope. But I kind of like sending it like this, even if it takes a little extra postage. But it just depends on your postal service as to what size they require and then the postage associated with it. And so yeah, each of these very cute little cards and then a little ephemera piece there. So easy peasy little invites. Okay, so at your wine tasting, everyone, of course, gets a wine glass. So I wanted to have very specialized little charms for your glass. So these are also little favor boxes, but I'll look at those in a second. So let's look at these little charms. What I've done here is I printed, I believe this was one of the ephemera pages. This is the ephemera page that has the little angle pockets, and then there's little postage stamps on it that you can use. And I just kind of found spots on the page and cut them out in little circles. But first, so that it was printed on vellum. So just, let's see, here, just typical nice little parchment pages. Now this one is a little thin for this particular project. This is 110 grams. Probably twice that would have been better. So what I did was I just doubled it up inside there. So there's 2 circles of the vellum just to give it a little more stability, because just one was a little too thin. And how I made this little charm here was using the Tim Holtz circle press, and you can get, that comes with these little kind of a really thin metal, and there's a template that allows you to see where you're going to make your circle, and then you can cut it out and it fits perfectly into the little charm. And then to make this part, so this is the part that would hook on to the wine glass. Probably should have had a wine glass here to show you that it hooks on to the wine glass. This is just simple, very cheap wire. And the one problem with the wire was that it was very flexible, extremely flexible. So what I did, and I don't know if you could probably see that it looks a little odd, a little banged up and maybe a little rough. So what I did was I just laid it down on an anvil, and then with a hammer I just pounded it. I probably could have done it a lot longer to get a really even look to it, but I stopped because I really liked it. I'm not sure if it's coming across in the camera, and sorry about all the ink on my fingers, but it kind of has a rough, really rough feel to it, and not all of it is pounded the way I would have, really done it flat. But that's why I stopped, because I kind of really liked it. It has a kind of a vintagey look to it. The reason I do this is it gives it a little, you can see now it's a lot less flexible. So it gives it a little more stability, and so that when it goes on and off, you're not wrenching it open and shut, because like I said, it was very, very flexible. So just pounding it, it makes it a little more rigid. So there's this guy. Let's take a look at each one. And then we've got this one. And since I did all of these by hand, and all I did was take a needle nose plier and I just turned it and made little spirals. Really, really simple. If you want, I can do a tutorial. There are a number of tutorials online for shaping metal, but I can certainly do that if you like. But these were pretty simple. So those are my little charms, and you can see they're basically the concept is the same, but each one has its own little individuality to it. And it definitely looks handmade because they're a little wonky, but I kind of like that. The idea, I wanted it to kind of look like, sort of on this image here, the little spirals of the vines, and sort of leafy and viney looking. So, excuse me. So those are my charms, and I've got them hanging on these little treat bags. Now these were made using the same cards, I believe. Yeah. I just picked some of the cards and used them. Or no, these, I think, boy. These are actually made using the journal pages. The journal pages. Not the journal cards, the journal pages. And then I added a label from my stash so that we can put the name of the person on the little bag. And it's a simple little bag that opens up. And the idea is they can take home a little package of maybe some of the cheese that was left over. It gives them a nice little treat to take home. And so these are the little bags. Like I said, these were taken from the journal pages, and I just chose the part of the journal page that I really liked. And the bag was made using a template. It's a German company, Adin mit Harz. So ideas with heart. But you can certainly find a number of templates online for little treat bags, SVG file if you have a cutter. Pretty simple. I just followed it, and you can see that it's, didn't do the world's greatest job, but I really like that. I think that little homemade touch shows that you put the time and the effort to make something special. You didn't just go out and purchase something. You put your heart into it. So those are my little treat bags and my little charms. So they got their treat bags with their special charm, and they can take the charm home with their treat bag. That's the side. So now we've got our party going. So what are we having a wine tasting, so of course we need scorecards to rate our wines. So again, I took the journal cards. This is just one set of the journal cards. And on the back, again, another piece of craft card stock. And I have a stamp and Art Impressions, I believe. One of the sets of stamps from Art Impressions, I think, had a little banner in it. So and it worked perfectly because Wien and Noten, so wine score. And then I wrote the wine and the score in by hand, and then made the lines by hand as well. But again, I love that look. Again, it says, I took the time to make this for you. So each of them the same, just give you a place to put what the wine was and what you thought of it. And you can do this in any number of ways. If, for instance, you have a little star stamp, you could stamp stars and have them, fill in however many stars for how well they thought the wine was. So really simple little concept. Don't need anything elaborate for a little wine scorecard. And then I wanted to be able to either, these can be used as place cards. So put their name on for you sit here, or what I'm planning on using them for is to tell people what the cheeses are, because I am a lover of cheese, and cheese and wine I think is the greatest thing in the world. So I want to have tons of different cheeses with my wine tasting. So I made a whole bunch of little place cards, and you can, again, write the name of the cheese. If you want to have these labeled on the wines, like this is number 1, so that's a blind tasting, for instance. And then you put your number and then your score, so it can be used to designate the wine, or a place card for somebody to sit. Now again, this was another template that I used from My Dim Lit Hearts. However, all you have to do is fold a piece of paper. Don't have to have this fanciness to it. Just a simple folded paper makes a really nice little place card. And again, this is one size up from the ones that were on the invites. So the exact same set of little ephemera pieces, but they're a little bit larger. So this is one size up from those. And they make cute little place cards. And second to last but not least, and excuse my glue tape that I used is acting up on me, so I might have to fix it. But this is a tray that my mother-in-law gave to me, and what I've done is wonkily, but it works. I traced the circle, just set this down on the piece of paper, traced around it, and then cut inside of the circle so that it would fit inside. And I had to go around a few times to make it perfectly fit, which is why it's a little bit wonky, but I still like it. And then took one of the images from the kit and printed it to the perfect size to fit within my circle. Now this is put in currently using repositionable tape. And the reason I did that is so that this can be my wine party, and then I can take out this circle, put in another circle, and it's a Alice in Wonderland party, which I kind of want to do with their SS Digital Studio has another kit. There's an Alice in Wonderland kit, and I so want to make a whole set of this just for that kit too. So I want to be able to reuse this, and I love repositionable tape for that. And then I can take these out, put them into a plastic baggie. That way, you know, if I put it on paper, of course it might stick over time, but I can put it in a plastic baggie. And then next time I have another party that is very wine oriented in some way, I can redecorate my tray for that. And then on the edge, which is, like I said, I've got some, just trying out some new repositionable tape, and it's kind of ticking me off because it's not sticking very well. Usually I don't have that problem. These are the little stamps that I was saying, the little postage stamps. And then some of the other pieces of ephemera. Little tickets, little stamps. And I put those all around the outside of it, just to give it a really nice little feel to the tray. So now this is my little tray. I can bring out all of the cheeses to the table. Of course, carry away things. So cute little tray that matches everything. And I, of course, have been using it to hold all of my pieces, which works perfectly. Put my charms back on my bags. And makes a lovely little tray. Love this. Thank you to my mother-in-law. Last but not least. So we've had a wonderful party. We've had some fun and took some pictures, of course. So I want to have a way of remembering the party. So a little book to capture all of the memories from our party. So this book it's a real simple. The cover is simply a piece of cardstock folded, and then I reinforced the inside and the outside with some thicker cardstock just to really give the spine some stability. And then I use that same craft cardstock as a little background. And then we have different elements. And again, this is just some labels from my stash. And now this will let me, note the time, the date of my party. And then I have a wonderful little book to remember. So let's take a look. I've used pretty much all the elements that were in the kit. We've got some really great pockets. And again, love those journal cards. And there's really some nice set of tags that can be used. Now I can put pictures onto these, have my guests maybe write a little note saying, what a great party. So let's take a look at this real quick. The one thing I like to do is on my images, this is one of the pages from the kit. I like to look for elements that I can cut out and then pop up and make into pockets. And all I do is I print it twice, the exact same size, and then find the element that I want, and I cut that element out of one of the pages, and then put it onto some cardstock. I used the same cardstock that I used for the cover. That way, if it's seen at all, it still blends in with the overall book. And then glue it down just like you would a pocket along the edges. And I've got a cute little pocket that disappears when the element is not in. I love doing that. And I got to tell you, this kit was perfect for that. You'll see I did this a lot of times throughout this. And this paper is, it came like this. So this is some vintage, I forget what the heck they called it, but I just bought this on Amazon. I didn't have to ink it. Saves time. Love it. Very pretty papers. And like I said, this is one of those little angle pockets. I love it. I think it makes it look like you're looking at a piece of the wall that has been chipped off or something. Very Italian, by the way. And again, these pages you can put your pictures on. Definitely get your guests to write something in your book. Really, it just adds that specialness when you go back to relive your memories of your party, to have little notes from your guests. And if they don't want to write a note, just have them write their name. So this book was stitched in, so I just used a pamphlet stitch. And I wanted to do something with the threads that were left over. So I just threaded on some beads that matched the colors within the book. And then I don't have any crimping beads, so I simply knotted and then added a little jewelry glue. And that keeps it nice and stable and on there. Just need to be careful when you're doing that, not to get it everywhere. But yeah, I think it worked pretty good. And definitely add the little bit of glue. If you don't have jewelry glue, super glue or maybe glossy accents is good. But jewelry glue is good because it's meant to be used with the threads. And again, here's another little hidden pocket. See, it just disappears when nothing's in there. I love it. Really gorgeous papers. And it really invokes the feel of Italy. Might make me another one of these to put in some of the pictures that my husband and I have taken on our trips. Isn't that gorgeous? Again, I backed all of the tags and the journal cards with that red paper, which works really nicely. I love that. There's the other little angle pockets. More journal card. Oops, I had that one in there upside down. I love the roses. And I gotta tell you, so the other reason I say that this is a versatile kit is that this page, it can be used in so many other journals. So this page, definitely, where's the one, can be used for so many different, this page here, in a botanical, strictly botanical journal, vintagey journal. So you don't have to just go, oh, well, I don't really have any reason for a wine journal. There are so many pages in this kit and the elements with the kit that can be used in so many different types and themes of journals. So, I mean, you can see this is just gorgeous. I mean, this could be used in just a plain botanical journal. The color is just gorgeous. So, let me pull these out. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love all the grapes. This is the same image that I used in my little tray. Just printed it at a smaller size. A little. Oop. I just love that. see, this is the page. So this one, I think there's one that doesn't have the writing on it. And look how gorgeous that is. Wouldn't that look great in just a nice little botanical journal, or even like a Valentine's journal? That would be very pretty in a Valentine's journal. I just love that. I love making little hidden pockets. And then another of the pockets from the kit. And then this page allows me to, I'm going to write some notes to myself of the party, the date, the time, who attended. So I already have plans. Excuse me. And here's the back cover. And again, this was, I took a lot. So like, for instance, here, this is taken from one of the journal pages. When I made, for instance, all of these little kits, or the little treat bags, of course you have the leftover of the pages. I don't waste anything. So all of those elements went into making, of course, the back pieces, and then I cut out the different elements to use throughout the book. So definitely there, nothing goes to waste when I make my books. So that is my journal to capture my memories of my party. So here, that is my little party kit for a wine tasting. Like I said, this is my wine tasting / housewarming party. Just any kind of get together. You know, this would actually, the colors in here would be perfect for a Christmas party as well. And you could really make this up to be a Christmas party with a little wine tasting, for instance. So really versatile kit. So hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. And definitely go and check out SS Digital Studio. And again, all those links will be down below as well, or in the description. And please like and subscribe. And definitely go and check her out and give her some love. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.